Back to reviewing Crime Syndicate, and post-Starro invasion, Johnny Quick and Atomica are being hunted by the government since they're known serial killers, which we saw in issue 1. So they decide to just go on a killing spree and murder 100 bunch of people by blowing up a bridge, killing everybody on it. That is one way to open a comic book issue. We see that Emerald Knight sees this, which prompts him to go off the deep end, resulting in the conclusion that he can't protect Coast City from either Atomica and Johnny Quick or the government themselves. So he goes full Simpsons movie and places a dome around Coast City. Alex Luthor at the watchtower with Lonar, who is a new god, which is for some unknowners in there, an Earth 3 version of Mercy Graves, who I think is Earth 3 Mercy Graves. I could be wrong. I've made mistakes in the series before when it comes to identifying their doppelgangers. Anyways, the three are talking about how they suspect, despite the crime syndicate being, criminals and going on a murder spree right now, there must be some metahumans who are genuine heroes, as they're currently hearing the news about Johnny Quick and Atomica's murder spree and Emerald Knight's attempt to quote-unquote save the city by putting it into a, green dome. They end up meeting with Earth 3 Sinestro, who explains how he once was an Emerald Knight himself and how the rings corrupt the wearer, claiming that he thinks that John can be saved, although Alex is very skeptical and insults his plan, because why? I don't know. But Sinestro was able to convince him otherwise to at least give him a chance to try to talk John down. Cut to Superwoman and Owlman going to the Fortress of Solitude looking for Ultraman, after learning the news that Johnny Quick, Atomica, and Emerald Knight are being labeled villains by the government. Which, have you seen what they're doing? I'm going to say that they very much own those names. In fact, I think Johnny and Atomica own the name Supervillain. They find Ultraman snorting kryptonite, which, yeah, that's a thing. I mean, I'm certain I've read a comic where Bizarro did the same thing, but I don't know why, but this part of the comic just kind of took me out of it, because I guess I understand the concept of it, but why is Ultraman snorting kryptonite? But, they're talking about it as if it's cocaine. It's just very, it's something, alright. Anyways, Ultraman is in true petty fashion and decides to criticize Owlman and Superwoman for working together. Which, I mean, how dare they work together? They're only trying to save the world. How can they do that behind his back? That's sarcasm, by the way, if you can't tell. We cut back to Emerald Knight to find him arguing with his ring when Sinestro pops up, putting a lock on his ring, keeping it quiet, since he wants to talk to John in private without his ring putting his input, or its input. John first thinks he's trying to trick him, but he points out how people Coast City fear John, who attempt to defend his actions, but he can't find himself being able to. We then cut to Alex at Metropolis, helping with the cleanup when Ultraman shows up to pick up the dead body of Starro. Owlman has Thomas Wayne and shows up, revealing he's now part of Luthor Corp's board. As then we see in Coast City as John goes to see his daughter, who refuses to talk to him. And the issue ended to show Emerald Knight has actually joined the team Alex was building that consists of the following: Savannah, Earth 3's Cheetah, who we already saw in previous issues, Sinestro, who we also already saw, Venus, who's Earth 3's Poison Ivy, Red Hood, who's Earth 3's Harley Quinn, and Powerhouse, who's Earth 3 Giganta. The backstory at the end of the issue is the origin of Emerald Knight, that he was once a dirty cop, but during a time when he was really being a suspect, his daughter found him, seeing what a monster he was, only for an Emerald Knight to appear to him. Emerald Knight ring, I meant, not Emerald Knight. An entire Emerald Knight showed up. I meant the ring appeared to him. Okay, for all the characters in this issue, the strongest in this issue, in my opinion at least, is certainly Emerald Knight, who we get to see how he got the way he is, while also showing parallels of his paranoia to our John Stewart's will. It was a 5-minute toward Emerald Knight. Nothing special, but wasn't bad. Owlman and Superwoman, like always, are great, even if they aren't given much to do. I'm excited to see more of their partnership. Ultraman and Alex, on the other hand, like last issue, are very petty and whiny. The rivalry has no reasoning, unlike their main counterparts' rivalry, who have a great hate for each other, and Superman and Lex Luthor's dynamic in the main universe is stuff of just greatness. If you read any comic book about Lex Luthor and Superman's rivalry, you can tell just why they hate each other so much. And despite hating each other, they, in a weird way, kind of respect each other. Here, though, Ultraman and Alex are just very, very just rude to the people who are trying to help them. They constantly belittle the people that are around them, while also, despite the fact Alex is seemingly trying to claim that he's the real hero and Ultraman's a villain, I don't think Alex is any different from Ultraman. He's also very petty, but also he was willing to let so many people die because he was not willing to admit that he needed help, to the point where Mercy Graves has to practically beg him to accept the idea that maybe some metahumans are good. Well, Atomica and Johnny Quick, in my opinion, although they didn't have much to do in most of the issue, they did have a pretty nice big chunk of it at the start. And I would say they came across like basic rogues, which reminded me of a lot of the Heatwave and Captain Cold stuff that's been throughout the years. Which isn't bad, but it doesn't really fit well with the Crime Syndicate, in my opinion. They came across more as like minions for the Crime Syndicate than being the big, big players in the Crime Syndicate. So what did you think of issue 4 of the Crime Syndicate, which I accidentally called issue 3, and my re-recording of this review, to the point where I actually had to re-record this entire video because I realized I mistakenly called this issue 3, but it's not issue 3, it's issue 4. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me all that down below, down in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.